That's where it all started for me. Something happened to me, and I need to know what it was, or I'll never be free of this.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 sequels actors regret doing.
Everybody ready, going crazy, yeah, we round. Come on and let me hear you say it now, right now.
For this list, we'll be looking at some of cinema's sequels that their stars definitely wish they hadn't signed up to for one reason or another. What's the best film sequel of all time? Let us know below. Number 10. Speed 2 Cruise Control, Sandra Bullock. After playing a part in keeping a bus above a certain pace in 1994's Speed, Bullock signed up for the 1997 sequel.
Alex, maybe this isn't such a hot idea. Maybe you should just leave the propeller alone, huh?
However, one of the warning signs should have been that Keanu Reeves decided not to follow suit. Then, the film came out to a mild reaction, barely scraping its budget back at the box office. Numerous times since, Bullock has slated Speed 2.
How'd the driving test go?
Oh, not good.
In an interview for her 2022 film The Lost City, Bullock said she was embarrassed about the sequel. She further stated its story made no sense, with the cruise liner slowly charging towards an island. While Daniel Radcliffe tried to make her feel better by mentioning there's a cult for it, Bullock emphasized it's a very quiet group.
That's one that I wished I hadn't done, and no fans came around that I know of, except for you. So
I'll be the one.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Number 9. The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Sally Field. When people think about Aunt May on the big screen, 9 times out of 10, they're imagining Rosemary Harris from the Tobey Maguire trilogy or Marissa Tomei from Tom Holland's run. But the performer that held the role for Andrew Garfield's reign, Sally Field, is probably glad she isn't regularly reminisced for the part.
Secrets have a cost. They're not for free. Not now, not ever.
In 2016, Field spoke to Howard Stern and criticized the Amazing Spider-Man series. She claimed it was really hard to find a three-dimensional character in the franchise, and the films weren't her kind of thing. Field also stated her role didn't require a great effort to perform. However, she did praise Garfield as a great actor under those circumstances. So that's something, right?
You're my boy. As far as I'm concerned, you're my boy, and I won't hurt you.
Number 8. High School Musical franchise, Zac Efron. Sometimes, a breakout role can come with side effects that make the rest of an actor's career difficult.
We're soaring, flying. There's not a star in heaven that we can't reach.
Especially when it means signing up for multiple sequels. And that was the case for Efron joining the High School Musical cast, a problem he has spoken about several times in interviews. He mentioned that straight after filming the first film, he realized he didn't want to do this role anymore.
Everybody's always talking at me. Everybody's trying to get in my head. I wanna listen to my own heart talking.
Even after appearing in numerous other films after High School Musical, Efron struggled to get the spell of the franchise off of him. At times, he has been typecasted into roles just because he played a singing teenage role. It wouldn't be until 2014's Neighbors that the audience saw Efron was more than just Troy Bolton.
Plans change and people change. The club talent show is a big deal for Sharpay and evidently for your future, so it's cool. Just make it happen. Wear your new Italian shoes.
Hey, I'm still me.
Number 7. Grease 2, Michelle Pfeiffer. If there's a list of films out there that didn't need a sequel, 1978's Grease would make the cut.
You better shape up, 'cause I need a man. And my heart is set on you.
But alas, that's exactly what we got 4 years later. With almost none of the main cast returning, Pfeiffer was one of the leads for the musical's 60s set film, and she doesn't have the best memories of the experience.
You really wanna know what I want in a guy? Well, I'm looking for a dream on a meat machine with hell in his eyes.
even though this was Pfeiffer's breakout role that helped propel her career, if she could change it, she wouldn't have signed on to do the sequel. In interviews, Pfeiffer mentioned that she hates the film with a vengeance, even describing it as really bad. Pfeiffer blames the fact that she was young and inexperienced at that point for why she took the role.
I don't even know who he is.
Mr. Right.
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 Don't you think that's kind of weird? Not weird, but like exciting weird.
Number 6. Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, Megan Fox. Having already worked with Michael Bay for her uncomfortable role in 2003's Bad Boys 2, Fox worked with him for 2007's Transformers and 2009's Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen.
I can't believe that I'm here right now.
And Bay loved to use the male gaze whenever she was on screen. It was weird. But in 2009, she had an interview with Wonderland that let the audience peek behind the Bay door. Fox described him as a nightmare on set and that he was like Napoleon and other infamous dictators. She also laid into his dangerous practices that even insurance companies wouldn't cover. But Fox mentioned that off-set, Bay is apparently very socially awkward. After this, Fox was dropped from the franchise, which had its silver linings.
Michaela.
Is that your girlfriend? Ex.
Michaela.
Wait!
Number 5. The Bourne Ultimatum, Matt Damon. If you were watching 2012's The Bourne Legacy, saw Jeremy Renner in the leading role, and wondered what had gone wrong, well, we may have the answer for you.
You gonna pretend you don't know I'm here?
I'm just trying to be polite.
Besides Damon not liking that Paul Greengrass wasn't directing the film, he also had an issue with his last outing in The Bourne Ultimatum. In an interview, he criticized the script by Tony Gilroy, describing it as, quote, unreadable, and that the writer took the money and left.
You said I'd be saving American lives.
You were.
I was killing for you. For them.
Damon went further by saying if he had put Gilroy's script on eBay, Gilroy's career would have been over. Well, just to make matters worse, the 2012 film was directed and written by Gilroy, not really giving Damon much of an incentive to sign on.
I've been reading your stories.
Who is this?
This is Jason Bourne.
Number 4. Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, Jessica Alba. Can you imagine a world where after 2007, Alba just dipped out of the acting world?
We will never have normal lives as long as we do what we do.
Thankfully, this dystopian possibility never came to be. But it nearly did, due to Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer director Tim Story.
You need to find a way to get the board.
Near the end of the film, when Alba as Sue Storm is perishing, Story allegedly told the actor to be prettier when she cries. Then, he supposedly told her to make her, quote, face flat, and they'll CGI the tears later. Wow. Because apparently that's what women are bothered about after getting a spike through them, looking hot. This blunt criticism made Alba question her talent so much that she considered giving up acting. Luckily, she didn't.
Hi.
Hi.
What'd I miss?
Number 3. Kick-Ass 2, Jim Carrey. For the sequel to the 2010 movie, the filmmakers wanted a big-name actor to do what Nick Cage did for the original.
No! Take cover, John! Not switch to kryptonite!
So, they brought in Jim Carrey. But before the film even came out, the actor turned to social media to slate it for its violence and that he couldn't support it, especially after the tragic Sandy Hook shootings. He also mentioned that while he wasn't ashamed of the film, he had a change of heart.
Yo, don't take the Lord's name in vain.
The creator of the comic series it's based on and the executive producer for Kick-Ass 2, Mark Miller, was baffled by Carrey's comments. He responded in his blog that the actor knew what he was getting himself into, as nothing changed from the screenplay to the screen.
Without Kick-Ass, none of us would be here. That's from the heart. Don't let it go to your head.
Number 2. Twilight franchise, Robert Pattinson. If there's an actor iconic for hating their own franchise while it was still churning out films, Pattinson would be at the tippy top.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to figure you out. It's very difficult for me to read.
In a 2008 interview with Empire, he mentioned that as he read the book, he despised his character Edward Cullen and saw him as a, quote, ridiculous person. But it inspired him to play the role like a, quote, manic depressive who hates himself. In regards to Cullen being a 108-year-old virgin, Pattinson said, quote, he's obviously got some issues there.
No, it's not the only reason. I don't want to be a monster.
In another interview, Pattinson also slated Stephenie Meyer, the author of the Twilight books. He described her as, quote, mad, and that the book seemed like something that wasn't meant to be published.
You're just not good for me.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Garfield, A Tale of Two Kitties. Bill Murray. Imagine signing up for a multi-film role on the premise you were excited to work with a certain filmmaker, only to get it really, really wrong.
Everybody back up! I don't know how wild this thing is going to get.
Well, that's what happened to Bill Murray. He was offered the leading role to voice the Monday-hating cat for the 2004 and 2006 films. But what really got him eager was working on a project written by Joel Coen, who's from the iconic filmmakers, the Coen brothers.
Gotta get a running start at something this dull.
This is gonna end so badly.
Only, it wasn't. It was actually Joel Coen with an H, who co-wrote the first Toy Story film and other animated projects. It wouldn't be until Murray was in the sound booth as he struggled to connect with the dialogue and story that he was told it wasn't a Coen Brothers project. Whoops.
But the question is, why in the world Garfield 3?
Can this be just between us?
Yes.
Drugs cost money.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.